Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, who replaced Jeff Bezos, announcements of a mandatory return to office policy for at least 3 days a week beginning May 1st has sparked opposition amongst Amazon employees. God forbid you come to the office 3 days a week. Group of tech workers have created a Slack channel and a petition against the mandate, and about 5,000 employees have signed the petition so far. A group of employees also spammed an internal website with messages conveying their opposition to the new policy. Many expressed frustration that they'd have to find arrangements for child care, caregivers, for aging parents, or potentially move to be within commuting distance oh my God, to the office. Additionally, the petition presents a number of data points and studies highlighting the benefits of remote work, such as improved productivity and the ability to attract and retain top talent. Tom, what are your thoughts on this wonderful article?
Well, this article comes on the heels of Disney. Everybody see Disney also got a petition about 4 days ago, 2,300 people, so a couple of people nodding here. So 2,300 people petitioned Disney because Robert Iger said two things. Hey, we're a creative organization. It's good when creative people are together, number one. And number two, the rest of you that are not in creative jobs here at Disney, it's good to be collaborating with each other. That's where we get mentorship. That's how you get noticed to be promoted. And so I'd like you to be in the office 4 days a week. 4 days a week. That's all that Robert Iger asked at Disney. 2,300 people flipped out the same thing. Oh, it's going to create hardships, hardships, hardships. Then Disney comes out 72 hours later, do an earnings report, and it says, yeah, and we got to let you know the expenses are still a little high, so we probably have to lay off about 5,000 people. If I was one of the 2,300 people that just signed a petition, and then you hear him go, oh crap, I'm in. You know, now what? The same thing is happening here, and I think the employees aren't understanding. They're being given opportunities to be recognized, get a raise. Who doesn't want a raise unless you think you're entitled to it? And by showing up, you get it. How many business owners or business managers are here? Look at this. Look at this. How do you recognize people? How do you help people lift up? How do you notice those little things, those little intangibles, somebody who's an encouraging force in the office? And so now you have 5,000 people are signing this petition, and Amazon, oh wait, they did a big layoff too. In the middle of Amazon trying to find some costs and efficiencies, it's just amazing. And also, I like the note here, move within commuting distance of the office. Something funny, go look it up. It happened with Yelp today. Yelp discovered that people that were working from home actually had moved like to Texas or Florida or some way and were no longer near the office and hadn't told Yelp. So when they say, okay, you have to be in the office for 3 days, they're like, oh crap. So this thing about moved within commuting distance to the office, you had a lot of people thinking, hey, guess what? I can go ski and I can live in Mammoth, California, and I don't have to come to the office. So when this comes back, there's a flip side to this employee flip out where some of them, and maybe it's for good reasons, have moved out of areas. There it is. Yelp's remote work reveals how pandemic reshaped local economies and the way we work. Yeah, local economies that no longer had certain Yelp workers, but they had a Yelp office. And now you have to go back to the office and they're like, whoops, I don't live here anymore. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Adam, what do you think about this?
So I think this is part of a larger conversation of this concept of a work-life balance. You know, so there's no secret that Gen Z and even millennials are advocating wholeheartedly, like, dude, let me just live my best life a little bit more, right? And I think there is some justification to some of these 4-day work weeks. Some countries have implemented that. They've started to see some productivity go up during 4 days. I mean, how much time is spent in the office just BSing, you know, networking, talking? I mean, that's part of office culture. I get it. But what I thought was ironic here, he's requesting employees come back 3 days a week. As the CEO, it's like you're now mandatory, need to be in the office 4 days a week or 5 days a week, whatever it is. But I think raise your hand again if you're a business owner. So, and raise your hand if you're just.
By the way, if the audience can't see it, can you turn the camera on to folks who look what percentage are business owners? Raise your hands again if you're a business owner. Look at this.
Wow.
Would you say that's 90%, 80%?
80%?
Yeah.
So I think
God bless the job creators, baby.
Yeah, respect. I think you know, at the end of the day, if I don't know who these people are at Amazon, but let's just say that they're $40,000-$50,000 a year employees. You know, they don't own the company. They haven't taken the risk as an entrepreneur. Granted, we can go down that path, but you know that, you know, regular employee, they also want to have a life. They want to have some vested interest in their life. They don't want to just work to live, right? They don't want to live to work. And a lot of people say, well, like a job, JOB stands for just over broke. So if you are not incentivizing your employees to say, no, this is part of an overall life plan that we can help you with, so you can save money and really live the life.
What do you think about what
want.
Adam is saying? What do you think about what Adam is saying? I'm asking you. What do you think? Tell me. What are your thoughts with what Adam said? No, I actually want to curious. By the way, what do you do, real quick? What business are you in?
So I'm a general contractor.
Okay.
As well as I own and operate properties.
Okay. So what do you think? So general contractor, own and operate properties, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think about what Adam said about the fact that, you know, they need to have some work-life balance? What do you think about that?
Businesses don't run that way. And the thing is that, you know, you have to calculate, like if you are looking at an overall P&L,
Yep.
both on your debt, on your staffing, payroll costs, your utilities, and overall expenses, if you were to break it down, you would go broke instantaneously to try to help create in that perspective. Now, there is incentive to help grow. And the thing is that it is my job to see whether all you do is housekeeping or you do just lobby. But the thing is that when you see potential, you help that growth move forward. Because I've created, with me and my family, we've created about 5 to 7 people. One works for corporate choice hotels. One became a house builder, a premium house builder. Another one joined a major company, and she's doing fantastic with their life. But it requires time from the ownership, but at the same time, you can't put everybody in the same box. And so if you were to put everybody into the same box, you would never get this thing moving forward. And that's where, like, your costs won't it won't pencil out. You will go under if you're trying to make a specific move just to help everybody, because it doesn't work that way. Because my family didn't have anything either when they first began.
By the way, it sounds like a very reasonable. Make some noise for a great response here. What's your name? What's your? Say it again.
Kush Nathu.
Kush.
Kush.
Last name?
Nathu.
Nathu. You know
Great
when I think
first
about
name,
Kush, what I
Kush.
think about?
Jerry
You know
Maguire.
what? I think about Jerry Maguire. How many guys think about Jerry Maguire?
Kush.
The prospect. But going back to what you're saying, so here's kind of how this thing works out. When you're saying, you know, the employees also need a work-life balance, all this other stuff. Fine, no problem. I totally understand it. You know, when it comes down to running a business, the goal is to stay in business. He just talked about that. A lot of times people are making the decision the way you're thinking, where let's try to please everybody, but then if the company goes out of business, you just cost a few 100,000 people jobs or thousands of people a job. Bed Bath & Beyond going out of business to please a few employees, they just shut down 436-something stores. Who did that hurt? So let's sit there and try to please everybody that, you know, want a little bit work-life balance. Guess what? You want work-life balance? Go be a laptop entrepreneur. Figure out a way to make $50,000. You know, live in Thailand if that's what you want to do. But if you want to run a company, shout out goes to the people that are creating jobs. The job creators in America lower taxes. Let me explain to you this. There is nobody that lowers taxes in America more than job creators. If a person is employed, that company is minimizing your taxes because you don't have to pay unemployment taxes, you don't have to pay entitlement programs. That company is taking the responsibility of doing that. The more of these companies that are doing that, you and I are able to pay lower and lower taxes. Shout out to them. Now, I'm going to give you the other part as well. 50 Cent, we talked about this on Tuesday, where he said too many people, the concept of being depressed, it's a luxury to be depressed, okay? It's a luxury to be depressed. For me, some of the most miserable, bitter people I've met in my life have way too much time on their hands. Some of the most miserable, bitter people who do stupid shit have way too much time on their hands. You know what I did when I had a lot of time on my hands? My hair was orange. Because I was bored. So I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm going to try this peroxide shit. And, you know, who's done the peroxide thing before? Who knows what I'm? Look at you guys. I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me see. Let's go to the beach. Hey, my hair is orange now. Damn, that's pretty sick. Yeah, I don't have a job. Okay, so, no, we have a little too much time on our hands where people need to kind of get back to work and have a bigger purpose. Life without a purpose is when you start doing stupid things, drugs, alcohol, dumb stuff, coloring your hair, all these other crazy activities that comes in. The more active you are, the more you're in the hunt for something big, for you, for your family, for your kids, whatever it may be. You're going to be a better, productive citizen for all of us. And the communities become safer if we do that.
I don't want to. Give him a round. Come on, guys. I mean, not. But with that being said, not to put a damper on everything, but Dodger in the field report in Ohio, he's dead, and they just threw him in the river, so he's dead now. So the water in Ohio.
Let me just give a quick. By the way, shout out to you. Great dresser, by the way. I mean, respect to you.
Kush.
But you hit the nail on the head. Is that how many more entrepreneurs, business owners are there versus actual employees? 90-10, let's say. So I think what's important for you to do is those people with jobs, they need to understand that they are a part of a company that is doing something, and is incumbent on you.
That part I agree with.
Yeah, it is incumbent on you to validate their purpose.
Yes.
Because look, you're not talking to somebody that's some $50,000 employee. I have a company like.
It is so true.
Like, I'm not that dude that you think I am. Like, I'm just an employee guy. So, but what I do is I talk to a lot of employees, and what I've noticed is there's like, yeah, it's just a job, and I'm like, what do you mean? We're building something here, bro. Like, this is what we're doing. And they're like, no, just a job for me, and there's a disconnect between the entrepreneur who's building something and has a vision and wants to do something and is putting in and sleeping, 4 hours a night and is doing something, versus the guy that's just, hey, this is just a job. And if you can make that person feel important and make that person feel like he has a purpose and he's part of something that's actually building something, that's where you get someone to buy in. And whether it's 3 days a week or 5 days a week, he's part of the vision.
You make a very good point. Very, very important point. Let me tell you what happened. Remember how the whole thing where it's some people shouldn't become fathers because you're not like, you need to just take your time before you become a father because you're not willing to do the job. It takes 2 minutes to become a dad. It takes years to become a father, that whole saying.
Amen.
Certain people are not meant to become employers. So where's Leo at? If Leo's in here or not. Leo, do you remember when we were in that one house in Bay Colony and one of the guy was talking about, well, 2 years ago I made $10 million in profit. Life was good. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But I'm having a hard time keeping employees. Why do you think I'm having a hard time keeping employees? I said, interesting. I said, tell me your schedule. How often are you at the office? Are you working 60? I said, when you made 10 million, how much were you working? 60 hours a week. I said, how did you work last year? No, last year I'm more like 10 to 20 hours a week. I said, so the employees sitting there asking themselves, why the hell am I working for you?
Exactly.
If the leader at the top is not driving the company, what the hell am I doing? Because if you're growing, hey, I'll ride that train. But if you're not, what am I doing with you? I'm going to go and work for somebody else.
Exactly.
So I fully agree with the point you're making as well. Some employers need to go become more in a supporting role and be an employee if you don't want that kind of pressure. If you're the employer, if you're the CEO founder, you got to work, drive the company and sell the vision of where they're going so other people are willing to go out there and join you. If not, go join somebody else's team. Very good point you made there as well.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.